praying that the world changes soon. Can get a doobie on a plane, but there's Uzis in our schools. Every dude who touched a boob or a booty getting me too. What you expect from the kids who went to Hooters after school? We're all triggered and defensive. We're all racist and we're sexist. We all grew up watching South Park. How are we offended? Now being fat is beautiful. Name a thing that you can't do. Jumping jacks, run a mile, live past 42. Man, it used to be cooler to slip a bird to the system, and now it's trendy to be triggered and pretend you're a victim. It's my race, it's my weight, it's because I'm a Christian. I hate the internet and anyone who has an opinion. And everybody angry if you say white. Okay, fine. Pass me the brush and I'll paint my face to the shades right. Let's talk about abortion. Sorry, tell me how this works. Bacteria is life on Mars, but a heartbeat isn't life on Earth? Weird. Y'all so stupid. Why are y'all so stupid? Get better problems, I swear to God that y'all want them. Y'all so dumb. People so stupid. People so dumb. People so boo-hoo, wah, wah, wah. Get better issues, we're gonna run out of tissues. It's so dumb. I'm a hater cause I can't relate to gay pride. Call me homophobic because I don't wanna date guys. K-tight. I for one am not surprised the world declined along the way. Give trophies to children for losing just cause they decide to play. We exercise our right to vote and hate the politicians. Ay, this is a democracy, it's partly your decision. Ay, this is weird, feels like this a different year. If I identify as a female, then when my balls and penis disappear. Children want a gender switch and hating men is feminist. Depression and anxiety are trendy, we're too sensitive. Invented 80 genders, mad the world is not accepting it. Then gave them more attention than normal women and men can get. What a contradiction, being human is so tragic. Focus on minorities, ignoring all the masses. Hallelujah, everyone. Activism saved the planet. No more plastic straws and paper, just paper straws wrapped in plastic. Congratulations. Y'all so stupid. Why are y'all so stupid? Get better problems, I swear to God that y'all want them. Y'all so dumb. People so stupid. People so dumb. People so boo-hoo, wah, wah, wah. Get better issues, we're gonna run out of tissues. It's so dumb. Look, I get it, it's like the world is going crazy. Seems like a school shooting happens almost daily. The racism, rape culture, hatred that we're facing is way too ingrained for our hashtags to change it. We've become so lazy and complacent, afraid of our generation. We think activism's Instagramming memes and complaining. It's a problem when there's actually actions you could be taking, but you're triggered so you just cry like a baby. Y'all so stupid. Why are y'all so stupid? Get better problems, I swear to God that y'all want them. Y'all so dumb. People so stupid. People so dumb. People so boo-hoo, wah, wah, wah. Get better issues, we're gonna run out of tissues. It's so dumb.
We all?
Yeah.
We motherfucking all. What up, everybody? It's your boy Marco from Upside Down Studios. It is What the Fuck Wednesday, Part 2. How y'all doing, everybody? So, on the video portion of our show, we talked about the Ukraine war and how we might not be fed the whole story or the truth. Especially when you go back in the past and see what was going on. So, I don't know how I feel about the whole situation. You know, I again, you know, I'm all for the Ukrainians because right now at this point they're the underdog, maybe. But again, if you see what's going on and what has gone on in the past and what's being called lies now, somebody's full of shit there. Somebody's definitely full of shit there. Before we start off any kind of topic or discussion, I would like to give a shout out to the officer that was at my house today, who said he was going to be listening to the podcast tonight. I hope you are listening, and I hope you know that I wasn't bullshitting when I told you. So, yeah, we ain't going to get into the circumstances or the situations, but we all here, and especially my co-hosts and everybody in this whole situation here knows the laws pretty much because I bring them up. So yeah, I understand you were doing your job, but trust me, I know the ins and outs of your job, and a state law or a city law or ordinance does not trump a federal law. That being said, hope you enjoy the show.
Fuck you, but listen anyway.
Not, because I mean, aside from his job, he was the gentleman there that was there. There was 2 officers, a female and a male police. I don't know if they were police officers or whatever, city people. They had guns on their sides, but nowadays that's legal, so who knows. Anyways, he was decent. You know, we got to talking and he understood where I was coming from. And once he realized I knew what the hell I was talking about, he kind of stepped back and became a person again instead of the so-called authorities. The female in the situation, you know, I'm not trying to sound like an ass or anything, but, you know, typical female. I think I rubbed her the wrong way when I told them both to get the fuck out of my driveway. And, which I had every right to. 1, you were blocking my driveway and I couldn't get into my own driveway. And 2, it's my motherfucking driveway.
I paid my taxes.
Yep. My house is paid for. I ain't renting. I ain't leasing. It ain't got no fucking loans on it. That property there is mine. Mine. So, yeah. Don't give me this, you got a right to start walking around my property or looking at my shit without a warrant. When, no, that don't work like that. Nope. Not at all. Not at all. Especially in the neighborhood that I live in. You're very lucky. Yeah. So we ain't even gonna get in depth into that shit. Just know I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And if I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, one of my people know what the fuck I'm talking about, and they will correct me. Which happens. So, where do I want to take this? I mean, we pretty much, y'all want to talk about the war some more? Y'all want to talk about some other shit?
I'm still fucking over the goddamn war and politics.
I'm glad finally that we have something to talk about that's not just, school shooting, pandemic, Trump. School
ain't
shooting,
fucking better,
pandemic,
though.
Trump.
No,
School
it's
shooting,
aliens.
pandemic, Trump.
I mean, that'll last for a couple weeks, sure, but...
Now, I was talking to a friend of mine last week who's a trucker. And because she is a commercial trucker, she works for a business, she's not an owner-operator, she could not be a part of the convoy that hit D.C. But she said that a lot of what's going... I don't know whether you would call it a theory, an idea, or whatever, but it just made sense to me. She said that she thinks that a lot of the bullshit or our media hype up of the Ukraine war is to cover up the convoy. Which most people, including me, would have thought maybe the convoy was covering the shit up, you know, going on over there. Although there is a lot of shady shit that America has their hands in this war, I think she might be onto something. Because there's been no media coverage except independents of the convoy, which is still in DC. There has been no, pretty much the only thing I've heard was an independent newscaster or, you know, somebody like us who was down there and they stopped at one place because I guess their headquarters or whatever is in Maryland. It's like 70 miles away from DC. And they were having parties and fireworks and stuff like that there. But again, to me, it's like, alright, this was supposed to start off over the mandates, but the mandates were gone. So then they started talking about inflation and this and that. And then they started talking about, you know, just different rights and all this other bullshit. Honestly, unless we're missing something or something's being held back, this is pretty much useless. I mean, it was a good idea. It was a good ploy. But they took the steam out of it. Unless, again, like I said, unless I'm missing something, they took the steam out of it before it even got to be done. Now, if there's something else behind there that, you know, is being hidden or something else, then I kind of get that. And that's what it kind of seems, because this is just being, even if it wasn't, all this shit is done and there's no reason for them to be out there, there would be some reporting on it. The last thing I heard was the DC police shut down the access roads or whatever. So that means they couldn't get in. The truckers couldn't get in. But that's it. So if it's that, it was, that taken care of that quick, why the fuck are they still out there, one? And why isn't anybody saying any goddamn thing? So again, I don't know whether it's actually a total nothing burger or media is trying to keep that shit hush-hush.
Probably a
but
little both.
Have you noticed, magically, the supply chain is done. The supply chain problem, there's no more, supposedly. Or at least going to wherever they want to send supplies to. You don't hear no more about the boats just circling around in California or going to Florida. You don't hear no more about the truckers not working. None of that shit. None of that. So, I mean, are we being smokescreen? I know prices are still going up on shit. The Fed just hired interest rates to try to cope with inflation, which I really don't even get that. I will be, I deal in history, I deal in politics a little bit, I deal in conspiracies. When it comes to economics, I don't understand if inflation is going up, that means prices are going up. Then you raising interest rates on shit, that just means borrowing money is going up.
Yeah.
So how is that supposed to fix any fucking thing?
It's not. It's inflation.
Right.
Inflation never fixes anything.
We have so many uneducated fucking people in America that, all right, this sounds okay. The Fed is gonna higher interest rates, so to take care of this inflation.
People are idiots. If it's pleasing to them, they're instantly for it.
And you know what I have, and I didn't believe it existed. I didn't believe people actually, like organizations actually did shit like what I'm about to talk about. We've heard about it on the media, but I'm just like, ain't no fucking way. There are actually news programs, more than podcasts. There are actually, like broadcasted and shit, programs that deal, like they'll give you a little bit of truth, a little bit of information, and then take that shit so far sideways that I could understand how people could believe CNN. I could understand how people could believe the bullshit that they're fed on the mainstream media. Like, for instance, I was watching one video podcast, whoever, and he was connecting all the shits from 2014 to now, all through Burisma and all that shit. After he got done putting very good facts out, after he got done putting out very good information, well, these people are sinners, and it's because they're God and trans gays, this and that. Dude, really? Even if you were telling the truth right now,
they're a spawn of Satan.
You just fucked that whole shit there. There is a time and place to get your fucking point through in certain things, and it is not any time. That was my problem with Kaepernick. That is my problem with a lot of these, with the UFO strike on the Russian tanks, supposedly. I would have felt like that was more believable, whether UFO or a military strike, if they didn't make the big thing about it is they prayed for it.
I wonder what fucking verse they used.
It doesn't matter what verse.
Well, it might actually matter.
I mean, the only thing that I could even come close to giving any validity to any prayer or any meditation or anything in any religion is through sound waves.
You know?
And it isn't just one person.
Well, if you had a group of people praying, then there's a little bit of validity.
Yeah, but they never,
What?
This could have been anywhere from 3 people to, the whole, they never gave how many people started praying.
True, but it's more than one.
Right. But either way, I mean, I just don't buy the whole, like, I do buy the sound wave vibration things, that you could do things with sound waves. I do feel that you could open up portals and shit like that through sound waves. But I do not believe that whether it be 100 of us or 5 of us, we can start putting out a wave that is going to communicate to a random UFO or random whatever the fuck in the sky.
There would have to be more.
And then they would have to know what we're praying for, and they would have to know what was going on. There's just too much.
Maybe unless they're just aliens themselves and they're able to contact their people.
I would
That'd
believe that
probably
more
more. Yeah,
than the report that's going on.
Right.
Now, if
that's why Rush is going after him for the technology.
right,
Yeah.
I don't think any of that prayer.
Solved it.
I don't think any of that prayer had anything to do with any of that shit. Now, in the UFO, circles or whatever, there is a belief or a theory out there that there are aliens that do watch and pay attention to what's going on.
Watchers.
Now, if you go into those are the Nephilim. Now, if you go by that theory, then they would know what was going on, and they would have just struck on their own, and it had nothing to do with the praying shit.
Right.
So,
But then again, how the fuck? I just don't understand the connection there. How would you know what was going on? 1, how would you know they were going to be there? 2, and how did they pick a side?
Well, maybe it was Elon Musk.
That was a theory from the Australians.
have you ever looked up Time Wave Zero?
Time what?
Time Wave Zero.
Time Wave Zero. No.
You need to look that up.
All right. Well, you just told the fucking world that I need to look it up. What is it about?
Terrence McKenna and his brother went on a spiritual journey in South America, like hard for like 2 or 3 weeks, and he had figured out that everything is predestined with mathematical proof.
That kind of goes into the whole Matrix thing and the whole we're in a simulation thing, and
Yeah, but he was able to prove it.
yeah, there's a lot of people that could prove that the Earth is flat, and we all know that ain't fucking happening neither.
See, that's just your simplest bullshit to try and dismiss it.
No, I'm.
It absolutely fucking is. Then just say maybe.
Oh, it's always a big maybe, but I'm
You
saying,
can shit on that. Yeah.
no, I don't shit on it because I'm a firm believer I could be wrong. I'm just saying logically,
Logically, yeah, it shouldn't make sense,
Yeah.
but
on the surface, yeah.
then
but
again,
I mean,
when you're 5 ounces mushrooms deep, a lot of shit don't make sense. But it still happens.
well, and that you also know how I feel about that end too.
I know, but when they
If I have to take a drug to make me see, or then it ain't me doing anything special. It's just the drug fucking doing whatever the fuck. Now,
Hey.
again, on the other side of that, there has been plenty of studies. There's even John Hopkins does
Right.
studies on DMT.
You're paying for this shit.
Right. So,
I'll sign up for it. Bet your ass I did.
I mean, there may be validity that certain drugs put you in that
Matrix.
zone or whatever the fuck. But again, just like the few things that I've saw that were oddities, or if you want to call them UFOs, I discredited them off rip because I was hot. And the first time, anytime you try to report anything, what is the first thing they ask you? Were you doing any drugs or alcohol when you saw this? Yeah. Well,
Because I'm always high. That's besides the point.
and then that again, that's how they would discredit me, just like most of the world will discredit this UFO on the tanks thing because the prayer was involved.
Right.
Because you take it totally away from a UFO type deal to, was that an angel? Did God help? Did and that right there is just no. I'm totally not feeling that at all.
Yeah, it was fucking Zeus with a bolt of lightning.
Maybe. I mean, that's what would happen. That's what he does. I mean,
Or no, over on that side of the world, that'd be Odin.
you've seen him before, so.
Yeah, that'd be Odin.
Yeah. Same type of thing.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. Like I said, I am a UFO believer.
Yeah, and there's as many cameras that are on every single one of their fucking tanks. Like, you'd think there'd be some more footage of it.
Now, and I think you did the
What?
show with me. This was like at least 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Ago, excuse me.
About.
How Putin is against all aliens.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why he attacked certain Syrian places.
Yeah.
Because he was after aliens.
Uh-huh.
Now,
He's picking up where
There's
Hitler
certain-
left off.
there's certain aliens that apparently our government are cool with and are cool with the world, but Putin don't give a fuck. He don't like any of them and he wants them all gone. So that's as close as I can get to any kind of maybe connection with the UFO thing.
Yeah.
But even like with the Hitler thing, he actually thought he was a descendant from
Yeah.
the tall whites.
Yeah.
Who
But
that's
he
where the
still
whole name
went
of the
after
Aryan
him.
thing in Atlantis. So Hitler actually thought, that his bloodline came from Atlantis.
Yeah.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
No, I did not.
Yep.
Did not know that.
Do you know what
And
World
that's
War
where
II was actually
supposed-
about? Why Hitler was doing the things he was doing?
Just theories, but I want to hear Ricky's.
No.
We talked about it, but not.
Okay.
Not.
No, we ain't gonna go down that rabbit hole right now. Hitler was on some shit. He has found some things he should not have found.
Well, yeah, I mean, Hitler, a lot of the really, really heinous and horrible shit that was done under the Hitler administration was not actually done by Hitler. Hitler was a nerd. Hitler was going after shit like the Spear of Destiny,
Yeah,
the Ark of the Covenant.
One
Hitler was
his right hand man that doing all the shit.
a lot of them. It was
yeah.
Heinrich Himmler and Rudolf Hess.
Yeah.
Them two fuckers, those were the real fucked up ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hitler was more into like trying to find the Holy Grail
He's a bookworm.
and try to find like all these ancient artifacts and alien shit. So I mean,
So he was actually trying to be immortal.
I don't know about that, but I know they did make. It was called the Glocka, but it was called, what was it, the fly trap or whatever.
Something like that.
Somehow, now there's different theories. Some say he got it from alien technology. Some say they just figured it out. But somehow they figured that by spinning red mercury in opposite directions on two planes, that they could generate a field that moved the Glocka, which was the bell, like a bell-looking craft or whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
But they didn't know what it did. They could make it disappear. They could make it come back. They didn't know where it went, and they didn't know what any too much about it. They just know they can make this fucking
Look
thing
what we can do.
disappear.
Right.
Supposedly,
Magic
some
Yeah,
now
pretty
we don't know if Hitler was in it, but supposedly some Nazis got in this thing and they sent it away. And what was it, back in the early 90s in Kecksburg, PA, it appeared. They saw I don't remember what town in Ohio saw it flying through the sky. It was like, wasn't really flying, it was kind of falling like a meteor type deal.
Yeah.
And it landed in Kecksburg, PA. That's documented. That's real shit.
And it had Nazis in it?
They don't. We don't know what the fuck was in it. We aren't allowed to know, but the military was there like that, and anybody who saw it that was around, like locals,
Yeah.
were told if they spoke about it, they would be sent to jail.
Wow.
I actually just
Never heard of that.
I just watched a fucking mockumentary on Kecksburg.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, Ohio and PA, it don't get talked about a lot. Are hotbeds not only for UFO activity, but for
There's some parallel that runs through Ohio somewhere.
hiding shit.
Yeah.
Like, what's the Air Force base up here?
Ravenna?
Dwight Patterson? The UFO that supposedly crashed in Area 51 was taken to
Well, they
Dwight
sent
Patterson.
EB-1 and EB-2 to Cincinnati.
Right.
Yeah.
Those were the aliens that were found that weren't.
Is it Air Force Base?
Yeah. Now, under Lake Erie is supposedly tunnels that run, all over, but specifically to Area 51 and Groom Lake and S4. Is that S4?
They're all connected.
Clear
or
out
something.
Nevada.
Right.
Yeah.
The reason why.
So is this what? Is it the tunnels you're talking about? They can literally drive through with semis and shit.
Some of them.
There's ones that were made. There's ones that were seem like they've kind of always been there. Because I mean, you figure Area 51, they've had those tunnels for how many fucking years?
Right,
Yeah.
right. And they just recently found tunnels, that have water in them, that they used to run them small submarines from Area 51 over to somewhere. I don't want to say it's California. It was it looked a little bit more rural
That's
type
weird.
deal, but by California, in an old naval training base. And they just had this kind of pool there that nobody fucked with it anymore.
Right.
Nobody did anything. But they found out that tunnel, there was a tunnel under there, and it ran all the way to Area 51. And they were worried about. They thought that cartels put that tunnel there for smuggling.
That's a nice fucking tunnel, buddy.
That don't even make sense. You would have to get all the way to that point to go through the tunnels to get over there. But if you're already in that point, you're already in the fucking country. You don't need that tunnel anymore.
Yeah. I mean, that'd still be pretty cool.
No,
Have your own
It'd be a
tunnel.
cool little
I mean,
fucking, boat ride.
it's
But
for higher up people to move some shit that they
Move
don't want
some
nobody
shit,
else to see.
Yeah, that's it.
What it's for.
that, and I've always knew about the DUMBs, the deep underground military bases, and just we all knew they were here and there, but apparently America specifically is built pretty much on top of another America. There are so many different, there's literally cities under America pretty much
That's pretty
built
fucked
now.
up.
It started off with military, but then you had people, building safe houses and underground, like bunkers and shit. And they went
Kinda
from
like-
there to, people are starting to build these hotels and all this. So pretty much, we, are.
Are you talking about like the Hive in
Resident Evil?
yeah, that movie?
No, that's more of the
Oh,
Dolce
they had
base. And I'm a firm
yeah.
believer that they based Resident Evil and the Hive off the Dolce base. You ever hear about that?
No.
No.
Look that shit up. The Dolce base started the Greada Treaty, which is a real treaty that is on the books in D.C. It's a treaty with us and aliens. And I don't remember whether it was Truman. I think it might have been Truman who had to sign that shit.
They pretty much just bore a city into the ground.
It's a 13 or 15 level building, and at the very bottom levels is like
It was all
real fucked up
controlled.
aliens. Then like in the middle levels, there's like bonds between humans and aliens, and the top levels are just humans.
Well, and that's now
Yeah.
after we started. Back when we discovered it, when who the fuck, I forget what the military contractor's name was, but he's dead now.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, when it was discovered, it was just a whole alien facility, and the U.S. tried to go in and attack it, and it was pretty much our soldiers were getting hammered, and that's where the Greada Treaty come from. Crazy shit. Crazy shit. Told you, me and Ricky used to
Fuck.
Yeah, that's just a tip,
Where'd that go?
man.
And I ain't never heard of no shit like
No
that.
shit, because they don't want you to know.
Ever, man. No.
You start connecting enough dots, and it's like, fuck.
and again, everybody knows, I don't just, if I heard about this, I ain't just going to be like, oh yeah, this is this. Now I got to look into this. This can't be, especially if it seems too fucking
Yeah,
far-fetched.
it's real.
It's like, Jared wanted to argue with me over the Second Amendment thing.
About
We
what?
did a whole fucking show on the Second, because the Second Amendment is not what
Yeah.
everybody thinks it is.
Yeah.
You know, everybody thinks that the Second Amendment protects your right to have a gun and to form a militia. Well, if you look into what they were talking about and why that was implemented the way it was, that militia was actually to be against the people, and it was supposed to be ran by the government. It was a government militia, so because the army, like even when America apparently first started or whatever, was never allowed to go against its own people. You cannot put your own army against the Americans. That's why the Civil War was all fuckered up. So what they would do is, instead of saying the military was doing this or that, they would gather up people for a militia. And if they didn't comply with whatever rules, then the militia took over and it wasn't the government doing it.
Okay.
People don't know anything about that.
Okay.
And when I try to even, let Jared know or even give him an inkling about it.
So it's pretty much people policed by the people at that point.
Kind of. Now,
But
there is a...
more hardcore as just cops, though.
They were kind of like a secret police almost. They did the dirty work that nobody else was able to do. Now there is a law or something that got added to the books that does give us what everybody thinks the Second Amendment gives us, but it's a totally different thing. And that didn't get implemented until the 1900s, something right before I was born, I think. Sometime like 75 maybe, 74, 75.
So you basically saying they were like the people they send in and to mingle with the other people, and then all of a sudden they get the call and say flip code and just start murdering everybody.
They're not like sleeper agents.
No, that's like that. This was just like pretty much almost like reserves. They were almost like reserves.
Okay.
And people got it in their head because they use militia that it's the people and they're the people rising up against the government and this and that.
Right.
No, that's not it. And the whole, rise above a tyrannical government, whatever the hell, that is totally misconstrued. Totally misconstrued. Now, again, we did have a law put on the books that now gives us those certain rights, but, people using this Second Amendment constantly for, especially gun laws, that's why nothing really gets done. That's why you can preach to the fucking choir. One side says whatever, the other side doesn't really do anything, so nothing ever gets done. And why? Because you are not quoting or citing the right shit. So it's kind of like a stalemate. We could start a militia. Well, you're rising against our government, which is treason, so you're going to go to jail. But wait a minute, the law says we can start a militia against a tyrannical government. You guys are tyrannical. Yeah. Oh, no. You know why that is on there? Because that militia is not the militia that is stated in the fucking books or on the paper. You know what I'm saying? Us getting together trying to fight against some bullshit will go to fucking... We'll get hemmed up. Just like the January 6th people. You'll get hemmed up quick. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was all kind of shit wrong with that. The few people who did do, the stupid shit in there, yeah, they should have been fucking put in jail, just like the people who did stupid shit anywhere else. But since we're in that day and age of holding the standard of what everybody else did, the January 6th people shouldn't have got a fucking thing. Nothing. No time, no trouble, no fines, no anything. Because all these other rallies and city burning downs and all these other so-called peaceful protests that ended with bricks and fucking fire, those people are getting bailed out of jail, or they're not getting cited, or they're not even getting charged. Ones that went in on video stealing shit, nope, not a goddamn thing. But you go single file line and take a picture in the middle of a fucking room at the wrong time, and you're going to go to jail for 3 years.
Yeah.
So again, like I said, it's a shimdiggling of it's a fumbling of the words in the law, and Jared just didn't want to hear that. He just, he's doing the whole.
On that level.
I'm gonna take it as the perspective of everybody else took it, and I'm not gonna lie. before I started doing research, I had the same perspective that he had.
But you're open to a lot of shit, and then you did a whole lot of research in your younger days.
Right. And that's what really chops my ass. You know damn well I did my fucking research. You know, if you could come across something different or something newer, but just the fact that, no, this is the way it is, no, that don't fly with me. And if you just want to keep saying that, then okay, you believe what you want to believe. But
I mean, you and me both studied this shit for 15 fucking years, like, you know.
I mean, hell, even like that, and I never in my day would ever think that I would be this person. I was never groomed for any of this shit. Yeah, I was groomed to be another fucking welfare recipient.
But you connected a lot of fucking dots.
Yeah, well, spite. I got a real spiteful streak in me.
Yeah.
And once somebody challenges me on something that I know, that's when I started. I
need to win.
And it's got to be some shit. You know, you got to be, you know, get me to that point where I'm like, oh, you dirty motherfucker.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I mean, I would rather be wrong. I would totally rather be wrong.
No, you're not. That's the problem. Like, most of the time, you know.
I even tell my kids that shit. You know, I'm like, why are you so hell bent on being right?
Right.
If you're fucking wrong, just say, okay, I was wrong.
Right.
What did I do wrong, or how am I wrong? So next time you won't be.
Yeah,
But they want,
move
you
on.
know, and it's, again, I think it's this generation. You know, they just want to fight and fight and fight for what they think is right, and they really don't take the
because a lot
time out
of people
to be
have
like,
a
wait
problem
a
with
minute.
acceptance. This is why, like, I've had like every bad trip I've ever had is for real acceptance and something else. You know, most general people can't accept that they're wrong.
I mean, I will debate and argue my point to the end, but at the end of it all, if I'm like, well, wait a minute, or you got a good point, or, you know, wait, if I'm fucking wrong, hey, I'm fucking wrong.
I learned something now.
You know, I've had people, you know, I've said something, like just recently, you know, I met this one girl, we started talking about politics and shit, and she had said something out of nowhere about Pappy Z's and Roxfest.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a couple Roxfests that we weren't at, and apparently I didn't know about this one where Roxfest was at Pappy Z's, and I was like, no, it never happened. I was at, you know, almost all of them. And the girl was like, nope, and she pulled up, you know, the thing, or she had some whatever the fuck from that time, and it said, you know, the dates and everything. Okay, well, I was wrong. You were right. And she just looked at me funny.
Dick.
Well, what do you want? You were right. Why am I going to argue with you anymore? Hey, apparently, you know, I missed a couple. Well, what? What the fuck else? I mean, I'm not going to argue with you. It's right there. I was wrong. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I don't. Especially when there's nothing of worth but your own pride in it.
Doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, there's never been a time, never, that I've ever felt, you know, I might try to sway the argument. I might try to change, but at the end of the day, if I'm fucking wrong about what the fuck I said, I'm fucking wrong. What I'm supposed to say. Even though I don't believe in most people's God or whatever, there's a good to fair chance that when I fucking croak, I could be standing in front of that goddamn gate with my grandma looking at me like, you dumbass, and I'm going to hell. What am I supposed to say? I was fucking wrong. Yeah. Oh. And I think if people would understand that and fucking get that shit in this fucking, in politics and in the world, this war wouldn't be going on right now. You have a bio lab over there. No, I don't. Yes, you do. Here's pictures. Okay, I do. Well,
Yeah, you got caught. Ooh.
you don't rub it in? I told you, no, shut the fuck up. Yeah, you said it. Shut the fuck up. They got it. We're going to get rid of it. Other people, no, we don't. Yes, the fuck you do. We got pictures. We got people who come from there. It's done. So much fucking easier. So much easier.
It makes sense.
So, we are about 15 minutes away from ending this show. And I want to make sure we get these out there. On June 18th, we got the Wickyard? June 18th, we're going to be putting our little something at the Wickyard. More details about that coming soon. Next week, we will be at, do you know, what's the name of that bar?
The Torch.
The Torch? Next week, we'll be at the Torch. Don Cody is going to be putting on a little beat battle down there. We will have more about that, but come and check us out. We will be doing sound and the lights and the security and but we'll be doing the sound and the lights and whatever the fuck else we need to be done there. But it ain't about us. It's about the beat battle. Come and check them out. What else we got going on? I don't know when the next time I'm going to be performing. So, yeah. Check out Vinyl Thursday tomorrow with Brad and Ralph. Check out Friday. We got Full Album Friday with Scotty. And I am also going to be on with the Eargasm guys for their stay-at-home comedy show. Check that shit out. And Greg is going to be pouring up some more shots here. Oh, look at that. The Producer Plug Beat Battle. Hosted by Hollywood's own. Judged by Producer Plug. March 24th at the Torch. That is 1281 Salt Springs Road, Youngstown, 44509. Did I read that right? Because my eyes are shady.
Yeah, you're good.
They will have producers workshops from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. I don't know, the rest of that writing is all kind of little, but they got all kind of shit going on. And the beat battle is going to be from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Come and check us out. 18 to enter, 21 to drink. Workshop and battle fee is $40. Pre-sale $10. Door is $12. Violence free zone, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And with that being said, we got anything else to put out there?
Yes, just because you're allowed to now carry a concealed weapon doesn't mean bring that motherfucker.
It goes into effect in 90 days.
Not only that, you still can't have that shit when you're,
It does.
when you're drinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
So leave them at home, goddammit.
Or at least leave that shit in the fucking car,
Yeah,
dumbasses.
yeah.
Have a good time.
Peace.
Yeah.
And we are fucking out. Where's my shot?